let's go mess with this a little bit further. I'm going to go up into my header, so I'm just clicking on header here, and I can see what styles. Header does not have a float, which is why box 1 and 2 do not bump up here when I say float right. But watch what happens if I add a float to my header. And I'm going to add a float left. Notice everything bumps up because it's messed with the normal flow of things. So now our heading 1 only encapsulates the area with the text instead of going all the way across the page, and we've told it to float left. Notice that box 3, because it still considers itself within the normal flow, bumped all the way up into, let's go find box 3, up and to the left, and then the text, because it can't fit right over the words floats review, it sits right outside of that box, but it's still within that box 3. So what happens if we give box 3 a float? Because it's the only one that doesn't. So let's give it a float left and see what happens. Oh, we're really messing things up now. So here's our header. It has a float left, but then all of a sudden, that's our footer that's showing up right there. And our footer, while it extends all the way across, it's behind everything because if we look in the flow of our HTML, it's at the bottom of the screen, it goes header, main, footer. So it's at the bottom, so it's underneath everything, but it bumps up that text and the background color because it says, oh, there's a gap here because boxes 1 and 2 have been floated right, and so boxes 1 and 2 are filling up this area up here. It leaves a gap right here because now box 3, we said float left, so it has to go underneath that floats review. So let's see if we can fix this a little bit. The first thing is with our header, if we actually remove that float again, so I'm just going to go into my code and remove that float, it's gone. All right, so now what's happened is everything, because there is no float that's been assigned to this header, it says I'm in the natural flow of things, so anything that has a float has to be applied after it. So in that case, our box 1, 2, and 3 have all been given floats of different directions. Boxes 1 and 2 have been floated right, and so then we have box 1 and then 2. And box 3 has been floated left, but again, there's this little gap because now they're 30%, 30 times 3, even with the 10 pixels on each side, it still leaves a little bit of gap. And so the footer, again, it squishes up here. That's when last week we applied that clear to our footer. And I'm going to go into clear a little bit more, but for right now, let's just add clear both, and now it bumps down behind.